If you're in a recipe rut, we can help. Chef Ryan Nolan from Mahoney's Restaurant and Bar is in the kitchen this morning. Chef Ryan is live in Oshkosh with more. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm a little hungry though, seeing all the recipes you've made. They all look delicious. And we're talking apples this morning. What recipe are we going to make now?
Yes, apples, so many apples. And we're going to make a soup now with apples. You know, all this wonderful stuff we've made with apples, why not a soup? You know, so many people use apples for dessert or just for a snack, but you can use it in soup too. So what we're going to make is an apple and chicken soup. If you wanted to use pork in it, that would work great as well. And we're going to finish ours with a little bit of kale. You know, kale's still kind of a trendy food right now. It's just loaded with vitamins. The nice thing is it's slightly bitter, so it's going to help from keeping our from our soup getting too sweet. You know, it's going to help level that out a little bit. So this can take a little bit of time, so let's get going. We've got some olive oil that we're getting hot. We've got about 2 tablespoons, and to that we're going to add 1 large onion or 2 medium onions, depending on what size you get, that we've just kind of julienned up and cut just a little bit smaller. And we're just going to saute those a little bit to start to get them softened. And then to that we're going to add 4 apples. Now these are, you know, 4 average-sized apples. Like I said in the previous segment, I used Gala apples. But if you wanted to use, you know, Granny Smith's or Macintosh or whatever you like, go ahead and use your favorite apple, except for Honey Crisps. I think those are just best eaten on their own at the end of the summer, not really cooking with them. So we're going to saute those up, and we keep cooking these until they start to brown ever so slightly. You know, we want to get a little bit of color on them. We want the onions to soften. We don't want the apples to soften too much. You know, so we add them in a little bit later after the onions, because, you know, the apples will start to mush after a while. But to this we're going to add some thyme, just for our nice herb driver in there, give it a delicious flavor. And this is also a great soup that you can go ahead and use up maybe some leftover grilled chicken you had, if you had a barbecue this weekend or something like that, you had leftover grilled chicken, because we're going to add about 2 pounds or so of leftover grilled chicken that we diced up. So we've got that kind of great smoky grilled flavor, and just mix that all together. And you can let that kind of sit and kind of cook together for a little while longer. But we're going to go ahead and add our liquid. So we have a quart of apple juice and a quart of chicken stock, broth, whatever you'd like to buy from the grocery store. Or if you make your own, even better. So we go ahead and add that, give it a stir, and at this point we would want to let it sit and come up to a boil and simmer a little while and kind of get those flavors all to mingle together. At that point you could go ahead and taste your soup, you know, see if you need any salt or pepper added to it. If you wanted to, you know, kind of add some cinnamon or something like that, you could. I don't think you need to on this one. But like I said, right at the end, after our soup has come to a boil, kind of right before we serve it, we're going to just add some chopped kale. Now we use a mix of green and purple kale, and we use the baby kale, so it's not quite as bitter as the full mature kale, and the stems aren't as woody, you know, so it's a lot easier to use. So if you can get to the farmer's market and find some baby greens, especially baby kale, it's perfect to use in an application like this. So we've got about 2 cups chopped, and when we measured it out, we packed it in there really well. We would just stir that in right at the end, and the hot soup is going to wilt that down perfectly, and it's going to be a nice, delicious, hearty end of summer soup.
That looks great. I think a big bowl of that with some French bread with just some butter all over that bread. Oh, that would be so good. Yes,
absolutely.
Well, awesome. Chef Ryan, thank you for being with us all morning. All the recipes that he made, those are online. And go check out Mahoney's in Oshkosh. We'll check in with you later. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.